¿Onda qué?
Am I good to start?
¿Están preparados? Ya. ¿Están preparados para sus palitos? Los vamos a chingar, güey.
Hello.
¿Onda qué?
Yeah, I got some players that are insecure with their PIs, so they're but
Estás trabando machino y no sé qué estoy diciendo, güey. You're lagging.
What?
You're lagging. You're lag.
I'm lagging? For real?
Laggando, güey. Sí, güey.
Am I good to start?
Sí, güey. Start it.
Yeah, go for it. Good luck, have fun, boys.
Good luck in a bit, Max. Peace.
Whew, we're live. For Midnight League, we have Calibrate Legacy, their third placement. At the end of this week, they've had what? I think this is now their 6th game in 7 days. I think last time I checked in, they had 6 games in 5 days. So grind never stops for them, as they'll now be facing Washed Diamonds. And just based off of the name and from what I can see, there's certainly going to be some tough competition, especially in comparison to their first few matches, which I'm going to have to check the scores on them, but it seemed to be light work for Calibrate Legacy, and I'm going to go now check on that actually, so let's see. 7-3 versus Brothers Till Death, and then 7-5 versus Seaman Demons. And admittedly, the 7-5 game, they ended up going down in the first half, 1-5, and then managed to have a perfect defending half. So far, a very good, to say the least, placement sort of segment, I'd say phase, I think is the best way to put it, really. And now I'm going to be trying to best Washed Diamonds. I haven't seen Washed Diamonds before, but I've certainly heard of them, so gonna be a first for me, for them at least. And I have not seen this lineup, at least not this complete lineup here, from Calibrate Legacy, though I've seen players from it. I've seen VZ, I've seen Moving, I've at least heard of Martin, and then I've heard of Awoken, and I've seen Pat, but I haven't seen this sort of combination, so it's going to be an interesting break from the usual, from the norm for them. But from what I've seen in the past of Calibrate Legacy, they're a very well-versed, versatile, and certainly, I'd say, resilient and adaptive team, so going to be interesting to see how they do here against Washed Diamonds. But gonna look at the bans very quickly before I get onto the next round, get onto this first round. And a Thatcher and Kaid ban is sort of evening out, and that means that the Freezer hatch is going to be rather easy to open for the attacking team. And then the Ash and Melusi bans being the other two. Melusi making a lot of sense, but then the Ash ban, especially considering that that's coming from Washed Diamonds, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't normally think of any of the members really of Calibrate Legacy and think, yeah, they're an Ash main. But I suppose they're trying to target ban that Ash. I would think that that's more of something that you would see actually from Calibrate Legacy, but instead it'll be Alright, and now gonna look at how they set up this first round, which will be actually a top floor defense, and just to do some sort of bullet hole there would be... No, it is that guy. No, actually, he's on the drone. Second thought he was actually trying to set up a bullet hole, which would be relatively smart as long as he doesn't get hit from either of those windows. And interesting to note, Lovely Jinx as the Frost here, bringing those welcome mats, trying to get it down off of it, and bringing the Super 90 as well. I have not seen this before. To begin with, I haven't seen a Frost play. It's not a very popular operator, not a very strong operator either, considering that the Frost mats are probably the easiest trap to spot, really, of all the trap operators. and probably has some of the weakest weapons. That or Capcan, I'd say. 4v5 though, VZ picking off Matthew Rocks and taking down that Legion. So he will be pacified with only a minute in, so did not get all of his goo mines down, and that's a very good start here for Calibrate Legacy. And I'm gonna just finish up on what I was saying. So obviously these traps, the only real reason you'd want to bring her is the shield, I'd say. Not very strong weapons. Then bring in the Super 90, so I suppose they're trying to get some remodeling power in that, but even then they have the Legion impacts. They could have brought maybe a smoke somehow. But it's going to certainly be a limiting factor here for Jinx, considering that now he is forced essentially to just play really close quarters or be very much reliant on that pistol. Moving down, don't know exactly how 4v4 though. Jinx will actually headshot Awoken, taking down the sledge, and I've got to have just a nice little chuckle about that one, considering that happened. 4v3, She Love takes down Pat, and there goes the Nomad as well. I don't know if he got down in years. I think he got down to 1. That might be a bit generous to say. About a minute left in the round, and now, no, it is that guy trying to push forward here, actually into Fireplace to finish off moving. Might have to deal, however, with VZ, and VZ is down thanks to, no, it is that guy. It's up to just Martin here. His teammate moving is down. He's not going to go for the revive. Trying to take down She Love, but She Love takes him out for a double kill, and the round will go the way of Washed Diamonds. Double kills from the Valkyrie of She Love, as well as, no, it is that guy, as the Mozzie. They'll now take an early lead here. Gonna look to try and keep the momentum going, as you can tell, I'm going to be actually moving to Kitchen. So not surprised at all, but we'll have to see how well they do on this site. They don't really have a safe way, I'd say, to hold down Freezer Hatch, unless they wanted to put somebody above, but that's a bit taxing, I'd say, just for one hatch. So it's going to likely be reliant really on just sort of letting the Freezer Hatch be and trying to hold down that wall, or even just straight up holding down the bakery side really heavily, but that doesn't seem to be the smart choice. If we see smart plays here from Legacy, they'll likely go onto that freezer side, since they can't keep the freezer hatch closed, and just open up the freezer hatch and then open up freezer wall and then push onto that service side. But we'll have to see if they can follow that sort of idea. And as you can see, Pat bringing the fuse, and I've only seen this sort of play with a fuse being brought on that first floor or even second floor site once, and it was a scrimmage versus, it was what, San Antonio Spites versus, I don't even remember.
10 seconds remaining.
I should remember. It's
5 seconds left.
the Southside Succubus. That was the other team name, and I thought that was a fun game, because one of the players was actually bringing the fuse, and though they lowered some of the members of the defensive team, they never actually got any kills off of it. So it's certainly a pocket play, I'd say. It's not very useful to bring the fuse, considering that, well, he has a strong gun and you can bring breaches or smokes. Well, now he can't bring smokes. I think they switched that out for the hard breach charge. I might be wrong on that. His utility is not very strong. If Legacy wanted something, I'd say, more traditional or more effective for sure, they should have brought somebody such as, Buck or even Sledge. Heck, even a Zoph or a Ash would have gotten the job done if they wanted to do some vertical mixed with, soft breach or even, gadget destruction, really. And now 5v4, notice that guy picking off moving, actually, and takes down the Zofia that I had mentioned earlier. Martin lowered as well, as he's trying to push site. Actually, not even pushing site, trying to roam clear. 5v3, the lovely Jinx picks off VC. And 5v2, that guy getting a double kill, taking down Martin, and there goes a lot of the effort, really, in roam clearing. Just burned through more than half of Legacy's lineup. It's up to just Awoken. As I say that, Jinx picks off Awoken for a double kill. It's just up to Pat here. A 1 versus all, as Fuse has half of the round. He does not have any drones outside of what has been left for him by his teammates. He doesn't have the diffuser either, and he's a 3 armor. spotting that guy, just lower him a bit. Now smoke wave's going out here from Matthew, and essentially just throwing them around anywhere. Has already used all 3 of them with about a minute left, and in only a matter of seconds used all his utility. Doesn't even really matter though. It's a 1 versus all situation. It's not very likely here that Pat will win this. But it's certainly a never say never sort of situation here. Wash Diamonds throws this away, which seems unlikely. It would go the way. It could potentially go the way of Legacy, and Pat lowered there 3 bars thanks to Matthew just playing that hatch very strongly with the shotgun. Not realizing it, but Pat has rotated away. Actually just moved back to the skylight. So gonna actually try and move here and try and do something really. He's in a situation where he needs to make a move soon. Gonna feel some pressure there from Matthew. Actually rotates around to the red hatch. And Matthew Rocks kills Pat for the flawless round there for Wash Diamonds, who will now be up 2-0. Matthew just running a bit roughshod, I'd say, at the end. Doing some strong plays there with some fast rotates between the 2 hatches to get the round for his team. Tough loss for CG. I mean, they're down here 2-0. They're going to be facing the tertiary site of Wash Diamonds, so they could certainly make a recovery here, considering that they're on Wash Diamonds' weakest site, which is the 2nd floor site, but still not the way that they really wanted to open this up by losing both of those, and in one of those quite dominant fashion. It just seems that they're being almost smothered, I'd say, really, by Wash Diamonds, who are just sort of winning these 1v1s, and then even if they're winning these 1v1s, at no point really is Calibrate Legacy going for a refrag. They're just essentially feeding kills to, namely, that guy's the Mozzie, who seems very comfortable with the weapon that he's the weapon of choice of his, and Jinx, especially those 2. And so they've been getting some very easy rounds here, and for the most part, it's just been a shut off here. I'd say I'm trying to think of the correct word.
10 seconds.
No, I'm not even gonna be able to think of it at this point. Just gonna focus on the present. As you can see, setting up above there, trying to get some vertical lines set up here would be the castle actually of the Jinx, trying to get that set up. I think going for a vault rotate into Washroom from backstore, but I don't know what exactly that's for. They do have a castle barricade, actually just one, not a second, but a first on that doorway there from backstore facing the cigar side. So might be looking to try and hold down sort of backstore and washroom as the first line of defense, and then rely on that wall for the second. The main part of holding down the site is just holding a vertical for as long as possible, and going to be trying to do that not only with the setup here that we're seeing from the castle with the rotate and the reinforcements and the second line of reinforcements, as well as the castle barricade, but also that clash play coming out here from Matthew Rocks, who's been doing fairly well considering that he managed to beat out Pat there as the smoke. So filling up that support role, and Sheila is lowered actually as the Ella down to probably 10 to 15 health, less than 1 bar at this point. Gonna figure out what to do next really, but not in a very strong position, and still has a shield on him. I don't know what that's about. Might be trying to put that down now, but still. And as you can see, Gemini hologram's gonna come out here from Matten, who's decided to bring that Iana, and seems to me that Legacy's push has concentrated itself actually around sort of that pillar door there, and realizing that actually is Matthew as the CCE shield wielding Clash. And now a number of players actually rushing in here, going to have to deal with an LMI as they move into the default plant spot, and that's actually VZ, covered by Awoken, who takes down DJ. 3v5 moving, kills lovely Jinx, and going for that flank there would be Matthew, getting a double kill. Fierce onto VZ and Awoken. Sheila takes down moving, and Martin, however, will kill actually lovely, presumably. Sheila looking for that counter defuse now, stopping the plant. And now, gonna have to just cover his teammate for a few more seconds. Knife goes out there from Pat to take down Sheila, and it's just up to the clash here of Matthew Rocks. And a bit of a gaff, to say the least, there by Matthew Rocks. Stopped his, well, actually from both of the remaining players of Wash Diamonds. And Matten takes the double kill and the round for Calibrate Legacy. Gonna make a bit of a comeback here. Gonna bring it to 1-2, but they're still down a round, and definitely a gaff there from Wash Diamonds. And as you saw, brought it now to 1-2, and it was a messy round, to say the least, for the defending team. Pardon me, actually. What was I thinking? And they should have realized really that there was going to be that pillar rush, to say the least. They saw, if they had seen all 5 players stacked out there, if the clash of Matthew had communicated with that and pushed forward, I'd say a bit, they might have been able to at least slow that down. And then once the plant was down, really Matthew not covering Sheilov as the Ella going for the counter defuse, and the Ella of Sheilov actually stopping halfway through was what really won the round there for Calibrate Legacy, just providing that minimal pressure that was really needed. Not too much, but not too little, so now gonna sort of allow the defending team of Wash Diamonds to move up to the top floor again, which is where they had a fairly interesting round, a lovely jinx that round. Brought the Frost, this time gonna be actually bringing the Pulse, so we're gonna see something certainly different. I don't know what exactly that's gonna mean, bringing the Frost, but not the Frost, the Pulse. But likely he's gonna try and go for some vertical play now, considering that is an option that he has gained here. Actually, he does have the Pulse scanner that essentially the microwave, as some people might joke about it as, but the fact that he has that means that he can deny plant from below. Admittedly, his own nitro is a delayed nitro, but he still has that option. And Matthew, once again, actually going to be rocking that Clash, as we saw last round, and a lot of how Clash plays, the skill of the Clash, but can be a very influential operator when placed in the right hands and when teams are willing to play sort of with the Clash, and also when teams don't know how to deal with the Clash. Because if you don't know how to deal with the Clash player, then it's going to be a very rough round. Now, Selma going to go down there onto that Cigar wall, as you can see. Nothing keeping it closed. No denial here, actually, from the defending team of Wash Diamonds. But potentially looking to defend from Cigar would be actually not... No, it's that guy being droned out there as the Mozzie, but doesn't seem to really mind. You know, just gonna lay back down, watch an angle there from behind him, as it's appear that somebody might be looking for that repel. Actually, appears to be the Zofia of Awoken, who opens up the barricade now to pressure that guy, and he's in a bit of a pincer here, having to deal with multiple players on multiple repels. Gonna have to deal with the Buck first, actually, and he rotates away. Does take a bit of damage, moving, however, down by lovely Jinx. And it'll be now a 5v4. Smoke went out there. I'm not sure why exactly, but removing that IQ is going to make it easier for them in the later part of this half, especially considering that they still have Lovely as that Pulse on the board. Means that he doesn't really have any hard counters from Calibrate Legacy outside of maybe somebody going below and trying to deal with them, but even then, it's not really going to matter all that much. And below with him, actually, now would be the Mozzie there. No, it is that guy. Nitro goes out from Lovely for a double kill, 5v2, as he takes down Awoken, and just some simple mistakes here. Really should have known that there was a Pulse roaming around below. Matthew Rocks lowered by Matten. Actually, I might be pronouncing that name wrong. I don't know exactly. That guy will down and out. Takes down Pat, and Matthew Rocks does fall off the platform, but doesn't matter. Elixir kills him. Mateen, and the round goes the way, after that comical drop, goes the way of Wash Diamonds, who will be up here 3-1. Gonna look to keep the round going, keep their hopes alive. Really, they've made good progress, but might be in for a rougher time, considering the fact that they're now going to be trying to defend first floor, which is, I suppose, the lowest down. So in a way similar to basement, but not exactly the same. And now, as you can tell, going to be trying to hold that down. It does have a similar lineup to what we saw in the first time around. It has Elysian and Maestro, which I think are the two changed ops, but outside of that, I think it's the exact same. and the rest of it. No, it is that guy bringing that Mozzie once again, and then the Jaeger and Smoke. So, two very popular operators in the latter two, DJ and Matthew, going to be bringing those two around. And now, as you can tell, we'll just try and hold down the site here to the best of their ability. They brought the Maestro, might be looking for an Evil Eye, actually, sort of on this shelving unit that got knocked over, I suppose. I'm looking to set that up so that way they can support anybody playing there. And he falls off again. Let's see how long it takes for him to get that set up.
5 seconds to go.
And at last, we'll set that up. And that's going to be supporting, presumably, Matthew, considering that he is Smoke. There's a drone there. I don't know if that's it is actually one of that guy's drones. As you can see, gonna move that around, reset that into a bit of a stronger position, to say the least. And now, as you can tell, just trying to push forward here, actually, will be Calibrate Legacy, and they've brought them the Maverick of VZ. Instead of any hard reach, they've actually brought a sort of secondary hard reach. Maybe even an emergency hard reach in a way, in that Maverick. So going to be, I suppose, bringing a stronger operator and sense of guns, as well as the 2 frag grenades, which he just threw one of them and it went right back at him. It didn't hurt any of his teammates or him, so I suppose not a major loss, but still kind of annoying. And the other one got ADS. And that's going to allow that shield there to be just dealt with. And even that reinforcement in small bakery isn't going to really help them, considering that they're not really holding bakery, they are holding prep, however. And Smoke and Matthew gonna get stunned there. Does, however, suck up a second stun, and it's now gonna take. Awoken doesn't have any more utility. They don't have any more frag grenades. That shield's gonna stay up. They managed to make such a terrible gaff on that ADS that was in plain sight, but Matthew just playing that strong enough to keep them off of the ADS, and now a smoke grenade will go out and trying to smoke them through the wall, I'm presuming, trying to deal with that Maverick there, VZ. Who's going to try and open up this wall here, this bakery wall, but we'll take him some time. Might be a bit risky as well, considering now that the Jaeger there of DJ trying to sort of abuse that for his gain. 4v5 though, Pat uses that against him. Sort of turning the barrel around, takes down DJ, and a second smoke will go out here from Matthew as he tries to deal with this. And they still need to open that up. They don't have any more impacts really. All they would have to do is have potentially either VZ needs to throw in 2 more lines to completely dispose of it. 4v4 though, Matthew takes down VZ. So there goes that idea. And now it's up to just Pat if they want to get that open. Need to use the ELA-12S, which he is certainly using now. But certainly messy, and Awoken is down and out thanks to Lovely, but still had utility. Didn't have any more utility on him, however. Some utility lost, and Lovely being killed there by moving. Actually, who will now try and move onto the site here. It's a 3v3. And it appears to be, actually, that the only remaining member on site of Wash Diamonds is Matthew. He's lower there. Now rotating back onto site is that guy. Just take down, moving on the flank. Pat is down. It's a 3v1 as he finishes off. And there goes that guy with a double kill. Shilov has taken out another one. And it's now 4-1. And it is entirely possible here that we could have a 5-1 split favoring Wash Diamonds. They've been on fire, it seems. And so far, it's just been a mess for Calibrate Legacy. They seem, I'd say, a bit clumsy, seem without a direction, really, as they're just pushing without any real regard, I'd say. We need to play a little after this match. Okay. You should. Alright then. I'm just gonna say that, and then leave it at that. Anyways, for the final round of this first half, actually, Wash Diamond's gonna try and redeem themselves after their first loss on this site by going actually back to Reading and Fireplace. So we'll try and hold down the vertical again, presumably, but they almost brought the Valkyrie, switching out the Valkyrie for the castle. So Willow Jink's gonna be going for that same setup, presumably, or at least a similar one, and bringing the Alibi instead of the Shinlove. So going for a coin flip of an operator, to say the least. The Prismas aren't very useful, I'd say. Some people say that they're used to slow down gunplay, and sure they are, but outside of that, I don't think she's not very helpful. And as you can see, So if She-Love doesn't get any kills
10 seconds.
as the alibi, it's essentially a wasted pick. It's similar to some mobs on attack, such as Nook at the moment, though once she gets that buff, she could become very strong.
Attackers are moving.
And Amaru, even after the buff, she's still a very heavy frag operator, doesn't have any real utility associated with her, outside of, I guess, opening hatches and the utility that she brings in a secondary gadget. But even then, if you wanted a secondary gadget, you could have brought somebody else that's a lot more useful. And so Jinx gonna be setting up some footholds there, and they're not gonna be going for that same setup. Actually, doing a lot more of a conservative, a lot smaller setup here on the top floor. Actually, with just a single castle barricade, a single reinforcement, and a single ADS, but also having a single player out there, and She-Love actually, and stun's gonna go out, and that will end up stunning him. Cluster charge goes out there actually from Pat, who once again brought the fuse. This time actually getting to use a fuse charge, so I'm sure he's gonna be rejoicing about that one. And trying to clear out this top floor would be actually Calibrate Legacy sending in a Gemini hologram as well as some drones, and it appears some friendly fire going to go out there, and Matthew is lowered due to that. But him and She-Love both trying to hold down the top floor. Matthew rotating out, actually, having been lowered like that, going to just try and hold an angle, presumably on New Hatch, actually, from afar. Just have that 1.5 that you could certainly train on that. 4v5 though, is VZ picking off? No, it is. That's got to be an unfortunate way for him to go out. The only thing that he was really expecting to be picked off like that. A rat spot, I'd say, and it's up to just She-Love to hold down the top floor here. Does pick off moving, and it's now a 4v4, and there goes a hologram. Peeking him at the same time would have been VZ, doesn't even matter as he takes him out for a double kill. However, Pat will trade. 3v3 though, Awoken taking down Matthew. It's up to just Lovely and Elixir. But the remaining members don't have a whole lot between the three of them. They have about a minute left. They don't have the diffuser. They need to go pick that up. And I don't think that actually either member of Wash Diamonds has realized it. But VZ, when he died as the Thermite, he dropped the diffuser right upstairs. So if they want to win this match, they need to go back upstairs and grab the diffuser and then get onto the site. And do that quickly. Mateen going to be trying to drone that out, as well as presumably Pat. And still now look to put down some cluster charges. Might be able to move around some of the players here. Elixir just holding down Laundry, as Lovely is going to be playing in Mining. Don't know what exactly they're trying to do here. They're quite spread out. And now the fuse charge is going to go down as the real Mateen trying to push down the stairs. Awoken trying to push into Pillar here. And now, not realizing that there's Lovely in Mining, now realizing the 1v3, Mateen picks off DJ. It's up to just. Pat needs to get a plan. He is trying to push in. However, he's surrounded. And there we go. Mateen takes down Lovely. Jinx. The round will go the way of Calibrate Legacy. And they'll be up. They, being Wash Diamonds, will be up at half 4-2. So not the end of the world here for Calibrate Legacy, but they're going to have a bit of a difficult time here. Orange team is making mistakes only my team would make. I mean, they did just let it go 4-2, so you can say what you want. And also, considering that the Aruni as well as the Tachanka are both on the board here, it's going to be an interesting second half. And I know a Legacy is sort of a very flexible and I'd say innovative team, I think is the best way to put it. So very well could make a recovery here. And Calibrate in general is a bit of a defensive-sided team. Defense-favoring team, I think is the better way to put it. They went from, 4-2 to 7-3 in one game. Did a 4-2 attacking half, which was still very strong for them. So, and then went from 1-5 to 7-5, just because they switched from attack to defense at half. So, don't count out Calibrate Legacy just yet. Even though they're down here, they are really in a good spot. And Orange team is all subs right now, pretty much, huh? I'd presume are Pat and VZ subs, or are they starters? That's a good question for you. I never seen this lineup before from them, nor have I. I've seen pieces of it. I've seen VZ, Pat, and I've at least heard about the rest of them, but I have not seen these five play together. So, which of these is Are these all subs? Snipe? That's my question for sniping. This is turned into a Q&A, but I'm gonna try and just hold down the site here. And bringing out a Rooney, it's interesting to see how she'll fit in to the meta. I mean, she's finished her quarantine or whatever, even though she didn't have any sort of illness, and certainly must have been a pretty serious one considering that she was gone for 3 months. Sorry to make some jokes about it. VZ lower, not out just yet, but it's down to 1 health due to presumably Matthew Rocks as the Nomad there, and Pat just takes the head off She-Love. There goes the Shackles. That's going to make it easier for anybody roaming below, namely the Jaeger there. Actually have Awoken who's roaming below here, just trying to waste some time, potentially get a pick. And now, looking at the lineup here, is Lovely Jinx trying to drone out from red stairs. Going to be using that. Zofia has only the 2 concussions left. I don't know what happened. I do know what actually happened to those 2 impacts. Used them on the 2 hatches, so certainly might have been able to do something a bit more efficient considering that they had She-Love as the Jackal, presumably with a shotgun. So would have been able to save those for something more important, such as a Goyo shield 4v4. They'll notice that got taken down easy, so does finish off with presumably Matthew started and moving as well. Going to be the next one to fall down to 1 health. Not dead just yet, but is certainly in a bad spot. And now pushing forward here, 3v4. Awoken picks off Lovely Jinx, and there goes the Zofia. Luckily, all he had left on him was those 2 concussions, so not the end of the world when it comes to losing utility, but still notice that guy lowered just a bit from presumably moving, just throwing an impact at his face. 2v4 though, Mateen takes down Notiz, and it's now up to just DJ and Matthew Rocks, and they are outnumbered here 2-1, trying to make a push from what they can, but they don't have a lot of numbers left, and they are outnumbered pretty heavily. Spotting moving, Awoken as well, both of them low, so it could very well become a 2v2 quickly, as long as DJ and Matthew Rocks lead the team with winning gunfights and lowering Mateen as well. Presumably all of them on not Goyo shields, on Rook plates. So that's going to make winning gunfights against them a bit harder. Mateen down and out thanks to Matthew Rocks. Pat takes down Matthew Rocks to trade his teammate, but DJ will get a kill there onto him moving. It's now 1v2 here up to just a DJ. About 30 seconds left. He does have the diffuser, but I don't think it would be very safe for him to plant, especially considering that he's getting pinged from that default camera. Going to try and push forward here. Swings Pat. Takes the kill. It's up to just Awoken, who's just totally on washroom. And I don't think DJ has realized it, but it's certainly going to try and figure out where he is. Get the kill. Awoken just holding an angle here. Waiting. Hearing DJ going for the plant. We'll push forward here. DJ now looking to stick it. Actually gets off the plant. Now needs to swing him. 5 seconds left. DJ gets the clutch for his team, who will now go up 5-2 against Calibrate Legacy. And now, Wash Diamonds is 1 round away from match point. She loved bringing the Flores, which is currently quarantined, so presumably that's going to be a 6th pick. But it would be interesting to see a Flores in play, to say the least. Matthew Rocks takes the 6th pick, and that's going to be either a protest likely from Calibrate Legacy or a 6th pick from Nomad to Nomad. That's interesting. And then from Rook to Omai, that makes a lot more sense from Mateen. Trying to bring some sort of throwable denial, going to combine with the Jaeger to sort of form the Batman and Robin combination that we've seen before. And She-Love did not have the opportunity to 6th pick. That got swallowed up by Matthew Rocks, who proceeded to, immediately just switch from nobody to nobody. And I think She-Love, realizing the mistake that he's made, will be just sacrificing a drone over to the fence gods, as you saw. But Calibrate Legacy is most likely going to have a 5v4 here. If they don't, they're going to get a free round, likely, because I don't see them not protesting this next round. If it isn't going to be She-Love either killing himself or getting TK'd. And now, there we go. Lovely Jinx fixes the mistake for his team, and it'll now be a 4v5 for them. So that's going to make it easier for Calibrate Legacy, and all the more embarrassing if they do end up actually losing this round. But just a fairly stereotypical setup, I'd say, outside of moving being sort of, I'd say, black sheep in a sense, bringing the Ella, so another sort of heavy, I'd say, you know, frag operator really in that Ella. So if he does not get a pick with it, it'd be a bit of a wasted choice, especially considering that all he's using is the shield. And I can't even tell where that is. So I don't really know. At the end of the day, it's not gonna really matter, I don't believe, considering that it's nowhere near the bakery side. So might be, and there goes Note, is that guy picking off, moving for a 4v4, and there goes the Ella. He did lose quite a bit of health, just about half of his health. 4v3 though, Matthew Rock's keeping the man advantage, actually taking the man advantage for his team as he picks off Awoken, and there goes the Jaeger. So not the worst for them to happen, but still would be worse if they had lost Mateen, who's just still holding down sight here, just sitting there, as you can see. And Lovely Jinx trying to open up that hatch, just get nitroed almost away by Pat, who's trying to design some vertical play there with the shotgun. Did not hit Lovely Jinx, tried to take some shots in the dark, and Mateen takes down the man advantage by taking out Matthew Rocks, and there goes the Nomad. But there's nobody on the roam, so it's not going to really help them unless they were trying and get a very late, very short flank. Maybe, go out one way, go in the other, and VZ going to be holding down that shield, and there it is, actually. On that service side, actually, it's going to make it a bit hard for them to push here, as they'll now try and get that wall open, but is it muted? It's not muted, actually. That's a free wall for them. Juice almost going down there at the hands of DJ, and he'll now try and push forward. 2v3, Mateen gets the man advantage for his team with a double kill now. As I mentioned, needs to stay alive, and he certainly has. He's actually been an impact player, at least for this round, for his team. DJ trying to drone that out, but put himself in a bit of a corner, especially considering that he's on the drone right now. If Pat realized that, he would be very much dead. But now, Lovely Jinx gonna try and push forward here, as TJ as well. Both of them going for that freezer push. They do have to defuse it. They only have one smoke wave. They only have one smoke left, no smoke waves, and considering that Legacy is not bringing a smoke. And now Pat taken down there by DJ for a 2v2, 2v1 potentially. VZ and DJ gonna face off, but neither of them gonna get the kill. And now Plant gonna go down here. Impact goes down. DJ's down. No time. 1v2. VZ takes out DJ. The round will go the way of Calibrate Legacy simply by means of time. Just the 4v5 is what really seemed to kill Wash Diamonds. If they had that extra player, they would have been in a 3v2. Admittedly, it would have been a round lost anyways, considering that they would have had likely a very short and easy protest against them from Calibrate Legacy. But considering that they lost Sling, especially considering there's Sheila, who's currently a second to top fragger, going 7-4. Considering that they lost him, especially, it's just unfortunate for them that they ended up losing somebody like that without any impact on the round, as it should be considering the situation. But still, it's just unfortunate for them, and that's gonna made it harder. And even when they got the man advantage, they couldn't keep the momentum going. They couldn't get the trades to keep that man advantage alive, and Mateen got the round for them. Orange team clutching, I believe in them. As I said, they're a defense-sided team, but at the same time, they're walking a somewhat thin line. If they want to tie it up here, they need to win. They essentially need to sweep the remaining sites, and they're only one round away from being put on match point. So Wash Diamonds has a sort of light at the end of the tunnel, I'd say, in that they only need to win 2 more rounds to win, and at least 1 to push themselves to overtime. But still, it's unfortunate to see that Calibrate Legacy is in this situation. There's been some pressure put on them, I suppose, due to how that first half went for them and how, at least so far, the second half has gone. Okay. And yeah, they can do it. They seem to play smart and can't give 1 round. Yeah. K1, you got it hit the nail right on the head, to the least. They just need to not let up a round, at least not until they're tied at 5-5. But these next 2 rounds, Calibrate Legacy wants to stand a chance here. These next 2 rounds really need to go their way. as you can tell, setting up that sort of default mirror setup with the one mirror on the side of Whitehall. I don't know where the other mirror is, and it's actually in washroom, so seen this setup before. I haven't seen it with that council barricade to help protect the mirror, likely from both somebody rushing the side actually of a cigar, but also from the white window. Matthew Rocks takes down Pat, and there goes the Goyo. So not the worst, considering that they still have everybody else outside of Awoken, who's down to probably 20 health, might be above that, but has just under a bar of health left. So not a strong spot for him to be in, considering that none of the members of Watch Diamonds have taken damage yet. So it's really a, I'd say a 3.25 versus 5 at the moment. So it's not looking so hot here. Lovely Jinx down and out, as I say that, thanks to Awoken, and he's the one on low health as well. Gonna try and go out with a bang here. Might be looking for the trade. Actually, would be no. It is that guy. He takes out Awoken, getting the trade. It's now a 4v3. Gonna try and help out his teammate as he now moves to pillar, trying to figure out where they are, trying to get some sort of information here, as his team is rappelling over on that cocktail balcony. And now, descending on that would be Shilov, as Mateen takes him out. Don't know exactly how, but it's now a 3v3, actually evening up there. Mateen has been a consistent impact on the round, and considering that he's on support as well, all the more impressive. He's been getting these man advantages, he's been put in these man advantages, and he's managing to neutralize them and even turn them around to actually favor his team. So to just know it is that guy, DJ and Matthew Rocks. Matthew Rocks actually on cocktail balcony managed to take down Mateen, looking for a third. Runs out of ammo though in the ARX as DJ looks for a plant now. And they're in a okay position here to cover that plant, really. Goyo shield goes down. Notice that guy down, lowered, but not down yet. Now, potato, not a potato, a hip fire there from Matthew Rocks. And it's up to just moving here. It's in a 2v1, though. Swung on by Notice that guy trying to swing him. And does, oh, he ran away from him. Gonna finish off Matthew Rocks. And with the tea bag as well. It's a moving versus DJ here. DJ obviously has the stronger weapon and has the intel as well, considering that he's getting hard pings. Moving, looking for that defuse, actually. And an easy kill for DJ. Will put it on match point here for Wash Diamonds. 11-5 from Notice that guy on a non-sequitur, going more than 2.0 KD at the moment. But this is going to be painful for Calibrate Legacy if they want to even have a chance, if they want to go to overtime. Which even then, it's not a guarantee. It's just going to be ugly. They can do it. They played smart. Just last round focusing planter. If they play like that more, they can 100%, but they can't let them get 1 to 2 opening picks. They let them get 2 opening picks. They evened it up 3-3 and then, or 3v3, and then they just let DJ plant. I think that a lot of these rounds, and I almost can determine that a lot of these rounds here for Wash Diamonds have been determined by, are they planting or not? Because it seems as though if they plant, they almost guaranteedly win the round. If they don't get themselves onto this site and get a plant down, then they don't win the round. But it's going to be difficult considering that they now need to sweep every single... They don't need to sweep every single site. They need to win this tertiary site for many teams, which is Reading and Fireplace, which they're now going to be going to, actually. So, really going to be trying to play Russian roulette here, I suppose. Seeing which bullet the chamber is in by going here. And hopefully it's a blank, or, really nothing, I think is the best way to put it. And they do win this round, which put them to 6-4. But still, they need to win this site, they need to win top floor, and they need to win first floor.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Or, break from the norms and go fireplace and mining, which we see in ranked, we don't see it in competitive, so certainly a difficult. Yeah. One thing that I feel kills them is that post plant and early in the round football. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's the post plant. If they Calibrate Legacy is having a really messy time once the plant goes down. And as you're going out there, actually quite a throw from moving, taking down some of Lovely Jinx's health. There's a lower him probably 55 health, I think. Maybe closer to 40, I don't know exactly. But gonna realize that there is moving as the bandit around there, but he's already fallen down actually. Decided to rotate down and nearly spotted the Nomad there, realizing that that wasn't any illusion, that was a real person. And Matthew as well, gonna be lucky, dodged a bullet there figuratively and all, so somewhat literally. But trying to dodge some bullets here would be awoken. He's been lowered. He's trying to hold down the vertical here. As Watch Diamonds will push forward. Notice that guy lowered, but does get the kill there onto Awoken with the headshot. And only about half of the round has gone by. And at last, that vertical hold has been collapsed at the hands of Wash Diamonds. So they'll now try and play vertical here. They do have the lovely Jinx as well as, that's actually their only vertical player. Wow. They don't even have a sledge. They only have lovely Jinx for vertical play. So, gonna be quite reliant on that. 5v3 though, Elixir, DJ gonna take down, moving, instead of just Pat and VZ. And as I say that, Pat taking down Sheila for 4v3. Looking to take into 4v2 would actually be lovely Jinx. Taking down Pat, it's up to just Mateen. And Mateen and VZ. 4v1, Matthew takes down VZ, looking for a double, he gets the double, and the game will go to Washed Diamonds. 7-3. Pulled the trigger. Game over for Calibrate Legacy. They will fall, unfortunately, to Wash Diamonds. 7-3. 3 of them are weak. They can do this. GG.
Jockey.
It's not like hot pocket, but I know.
GG guys, well played.
Yeah. GG.
Well, we got one more round than last time. I guess that's a plus.
Achievements.
Yes, progress, boys,
Yeah.
progress.
We had a retard who six picks when we had a Flores.
Yeah, fucking Jinx.
So we had to
Fucking
pick him.
idiot. Oh my, Jinx has a TK.
Yeah, Jinx. Jinx,
Fucking
bro.
That's a jinx. That's
Alright,
a
Matt.
jinx thing to do, bro.
Indeed.
Oh,
it
the
is.
Jinx?
No, that's a Matthew
he's
Brock
bitch
thing to do, to be
Jinx.
honest.
He just called me Jinx.
Jinx is a type of Jaeger to not place the 3DS in a league match, bro. I've seen
He
that.
just called you hard R? You said you're the type
Alright,
of hard R? Damn.
fine.
No, I didn't say that. Chill, bro.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry for my accent, bro, but I don't say the hard R, bro.
I'm just kidding, bro.
Have a good
Yo,
night,
boys.
guys.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, Mateen. Oh, okay. Well, I guess he doesn't want to talk to me.
See you, dude.
We cry every time.